This is the Kmart Commander here with
QueensThief
for yet another episode of Noobs Casting Fools Season 2! Woo! Wow, it has been a very long time, ladies and gentlemen, and if you don't know what this is, Noobs Casting Fools is a YouTube series where we, the noobs, cast you, the fools. So if you want to send us your StarCraft replay, be sure to email us at zealotfellows@gmail.com, and we would be positively, absolutely overjoyed to cast you.
Oh yeah, here we are, folks. Hey, actually, I'm gonna ask the person down here. Hey, Jordan, you remember how we do the follow when we're watching a replay? You can follow unit, Command.
This is why we're the noobs, people.
Boom.
Oh yeah, there we go. Now it looks totally professional as we watch this Overlord.
There we go. So, anyways, this is a 2v2 that myself, QueensThief, my brother Beckendorf played. We're currently in Diamond 3. We lost quite a few games trying to get in a groove just for how greedy to be economically and then how aggressive to be. So we've been kind of getting in a flow, and we're pushing at the top of Diamond 3. This game, I won't give away who wins or loses at this point, but this was a really fun game.
I was going to give him a spoiler alert to that
This is a really fun game we wanted to show you guys. I have it on times 2 right now just because
it's 20 minutes. And
not much happens right now.
Yeah, and it's 20 minutes and we don't want to spend 20 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to put on normal right now. Let's follow this Reaper here for a second.
Oh, look at the Reaper.
So, the Zerg and I both went hatchery first, which is a pretty normal build to do. You really, sometimes against the Zerg, I will go spawning pool first if I want to play a little bit more defensively, because they can just be doing a rush or something like that, and then you won't have any units. But, no one's being too aggressive. He is poking out with his Reaper. This is a very normal build. If you notice, he's expanding behind this.
Wait, so what's he doing with his Reaper?
He's just scouting, and actually
okay.
He has 2 kills, which that's kind of this guy's fault.
Huh.
He has
so he killed 2 drones, I guess, there?
2 probes there, which was a good move by Beckendorf.
Shows how much I know.
But, yeah, so he basically went Reaper expand. Especially as a Terran, it's harder to get units out soon. If you notice, he has
this is Beckendorf,
1 Marine right now. He's building 1 Marine.
This is Beckendorf right now.
Beckendorf.
We're talking about.
So, which is why he went the Reaper first. That way he can kind of scout to see what kind of pressure's coming. That way he knows if he has to put a bunker down or prepare more.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, I've been out of StarCraft for a very long time here. Basically, I haven't played the game since, Wings of Liberty, really, which is really a long time. So, I'm glad you're here, because there's a lot of stuff I'm going to have, super massive questions about.
Yeah, a lot of things have changed. I would say the biggest gameplay thing that has changed is that you start now with 12 workers.
Right.
And the mineral patches mine out much more quickly.
Is the gas lower too, I guess?
Gas, I think, is about the same, maybe a little less. Everything's slightly faster, so you have to be expanding more. You have more money initially so that you can go for bigger timings.
Right.
If you notice right now, I'm going to follow these guys. I'm going for a push right now. So I droned up a little bit in my bases, and I wanted to build some wings and do an attack. Especially when you're going ling on ling. You can, you don't trade very well when you have less.
Oh, wait, you split them up there. What was the reason for that?
I wanted to kind of kill his queen and then kill a few drones at the same time.
So splitting them up like that was going to...
Yeah, I think I just A-moved too, and some of them kind of split off.
Okay, but it looks like a fairly good tactical thing you did right there.
But especially now, this is 2v2, so he has some units which helps him defend. I actually do a lot of damage right now, if you notice.
Yeah, I can see that.
Even with the units, I have... Actually, I have 5 more drones. He had more drones initially in the last unit, so that even though I killed quite a few, he's not out of the game yet.
Right.
But the dangerous thing, especially when playing 1v1s as Zerg, you're working out of larva. So if you even go to his base, you get larva automatically, and then your queen injects it.
Oh, right.
So I'll have games where I use all my larva to build drones, and there's no possible way for me to build units during that time, and then he builds slings, and I'm dead.
Right.
So that kind of happened during this time. I had slightly less drones but more units and was able to do some damage. But they're not out of the game by any stretch. Let's see if I can look at the units again here. We're pretty similar on workers, so I did some damage, but it's still a pretty even game.
Now, what's Beckendorf doing right now? It seems like he's kind of doing a 1-1-1 a little bit, right? He's got the whole tree, basically.
Beckendorf, yeah. So he has 3 of his barracks down. He's getting his 3rd command center, so he's going to drop here. Let's watch this. He's going to be putting his 4th and 5th barracks down soon.
Wow, I mean, you guys are pretty hammering them pretty good right now.
Yeah, so he doesn't really want to lose these as much as he can. He is losing some, but this is just to get out. Terran, if you're talking about the races that work best when you A move. So if you have a maxed out Terran army and a maxed out any other army, usually the Terran army will lose. So
Really?
it's about
because is that mainly because they can't like they get surrounded really easily or something?
That and the units themselves aren't as strong. Oh, that was kind of a bad mistake there. It's more about unit control. Like again, you have Colossus here, you have Immortals. They're very powerful units by themselves. So you can just
stick them in front of something. They just
you can just they just especially Colossus is probably everyone knows who's watching this. They do a little bit of splash damage. But Terran armies are very mobile, so you can harass and do a lot of damage that way.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I wouldn't have expected like Terran to be like a micro-intensive race, really. I was thought like Zerg would be more that way.
So if you notice here, they're going for a pretty big push. And actually, even if you look at the drones, I have 20 more drones than the other Zerg player.
Yeah, so you're definitely leading.
If you look at the units, I have quite a few less. So this point in this game, again, this game still goes on for quite a bit more. But we almost basically die right here because they have a substantially bigger army. This map it's really hard to defend big pushes like this because we're both coming out of our see if I can zoom out. Nope. We're both coming out of our ramps, but their armies are together down here.
Right, so there's no way you can really get out there fast enough to stop all that.
So I tried. Luckily, they split up a little bit. I get a little damage done here.
Are we on 2 times here or something? Yeah,
this is faster. I'll go 2 times eventually, but this was an important part of the game.
So this is normal speed right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so they're doing a lot of damage now. I end up losing both of these bases, which you'll see. They've killed. He's killed really more than 10 drones. Yeah, so it's really tough right now. And again, they both have their expansions behind this, so it's not that all in. I do have a lair, and we have more possibilities for our tech choices.
Yeah, but you just don't have the technological capacity to actually stop this. I mean,
and
not enough production.
Yeah. However, I would say the one mistake that they made was they kind of went in too far. So now, in order to move out, they have to engage us. There's no way for them to leave. The Protoss guy can leave by doing a recall.
So even though you don't have number superiority, you do have them trapped, and that is useful.
Exactly, and we have defender's advantage. So we're constantly making units, sending them here. If they wanted to send units, they'd have to make them. I think they are. Yeah, they are making more units, but they have to send them all the way across the map.
Yeah, and there's just no way you're going to get to them in time.
Yeah. Luckily, he does recall in a second, which is a bummer for us because we could have gotten that Colossus and Disruptor.
Oh, that's right. You can recall with the...
Yeah.
That was a good move.
That was a good move. So at this point, we've lost a lot.
You almost died there, but you're still good.
Quite a bit bigger economy. Army is pretty similar.
Wait, so are they actually leading you in drones right now? I mean,
Zerg is definitely leading me. However, Protoss, he just focused on units, so he kind of stopped building probes a little while ago. Unfortunately, I was not paying attention, and boom,
that was terrible.
8 kills by 1 Disruptor, and I was like,
that's not, and whatever those things are, there's not a cheap unit.
They are not cheap at all. It costs 25 minerals, 75 gas to evolve it from the Roach after building the Roach.
Ouch.
So at this point in the game, I was like, okay, Beck, we have to go for a push. They did so much damage, but then that happened. I was like, okay, we can't. So
you just clearly don't have enough troops to do this.
I had a lot of money left over, so I double expanded because, like, okay, the only way to get back in the game is I got to get my economy up right now. So this game actually ends up becoming closer than you'd think. But
yeah, so you guys are clearly not doing terribly good right now. I mean, they're basically leading in their economy. Yeah. And you have lost both your bases.
If there's he has 89 supply. He has 101. I have 57, and Beckendorf has pardon me.
What does Beckendorf have?
101. So Beckendorf's doing pretty good. He was able to lift his command center up and just move it over here.
Oh, that was nice.
Unlike myself, who just lost the bases because I'm Zerg, and that's kind of how it works. So Protoss is continuing to kind of working with the same army composition which he has, which is still very powerful.
Yeah, and that's basically the Stalkers, Disruptors, and Colossus. Yeah.
Though he only has one robotics facility, so Colossus and Disruptors both come from that.
Wait, so he's actually running this whole thing off just one robotics? That's
so it takes, again, it's taken the last 4 minutes since the attack to get those 4 units. That's the one problem I would suggest if I was him getting a second robo soon.
Right. Whoa. Is that a nice drop?
Yeah, that was a good drop.
At least he cleared the economy out.
Yeah, so if you notice, he didn't really lose any units. He's just trying to kind of move in, see if he can get some work done just because we are behind. Right. We want to make them feel pressured and stay on their side of the map while
just give you
we get our economy up. Like, if you notice now, Let's go to units. I'm basically I'm getting some upgrades. Oh no, I'm over here.
You're in production right now.
I'm getting a few units, and then I'm literally just going to build drones in a minute.
No, why are you getting Hydras right now?
That's kind of the next phase. There's still a tier 2 unit. So tier 2 would be units from the lair.
Right.
That would be Hydras, and Roaches are tier 1, and then be Mutas as well.
That makes sense.
Tier 3 would be you get a Hive, and then he loses these. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Oh, he saves one. That's
whoa.
good.
So he actually made. Oh, that was good.
That was with 23
close
HP.
though. That was really close.
So if you notice right now, they have a massive army coming in. 100 supply, 130 supply. We have 80 and 127.
Yeah, I'm definitely placing my bets on them.
However,
right now.
if you notice what we have going for us, we have
Huge area
that's actually
control.
very bad positioning if they're faced the other way.
Gosh.
But we have Liberators and Lurkers, and if you notice,
That's like perfect area control.
he has a lot of units, but just a couple shots from those Lurkers almost killed half of them.
That's amazing.
So Lurkers, they're quite a big investment. They cost 100 gas to build from the Hydralisks.
Oh, right.
But they're very good defensively. If they walked in here, even with their superior numbers, they would completely be demolished.
Yeah, I definitely
agree. I spent a little money on those initial units, and then I'm pretty sure I just start droning soon here. Because I put my hatcheries down, my economy is still quite low. Let's look at our units
Looks
here.
like you have 4 bases total, looks like, which is
3 bases, yeah.
3?
So
Okay.
I'm starting to even my drone count with the other Zerg.
Well, that's good.
So we're getting closer.
Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, again, they do have a bigger army though, so we can
There's
defend.
just no way you can.
We can defend
that.
here, but there's really no way we can actually move out.
I mean, one-on-one, they could totally destroy your army just
Exactly.
isolated like this. That's definitely not good.
So that's a very powerful army.
Planetary Fortress can't leave.
So he lost his third, which is a bummer. But if you notice, me and the Zerg are tied for 3 bases, and Protoss is still not expanded. I would have, if I was the Protoss, I really would have expanded sooner.
I mean, they're in a great position right now. They have map control. They can just take anything they want.
They know that. They really should have recognized. I think, no, I won't give anything away what happened in this game. But when you are ahead like this, they know that if they can just contain us, they just can expand. As long as they have enough units to easily defend any push that we do. So while they have the superior advantage where they know we're not going to try to attack, that's when they should be expanding and attacking and being a little bit greedy. Which, again, I'm not saying they're still doing very well, but that would just be something for them to be thinking about.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
If you notice as well, Beckendorf actually just pointed me to the upgrades. So
yeah, he's actually across the table. Hi, Beckendorf.
Upgrades are something that they're always important. You will always trade better when you have better upgrades. It's something that they're like, for instance, we were being pressured and we almost died. We couldn't be thinking about upgrades because we just have to be pumping as many units as we can.
And now they're upgrading, yeah. So that was definitely one thing that got me when I played Wings of Liberty is I just didn't do enough upgrades. Usually.
Exactly. Though some people just forget, and if you notice right now, the Protoss has 0-0.
Really?
So
wow, it must have a pretty good unit army composition.
Not even that. There's a point of I'm choosing it's best not to get upgrades right now, and then it's just him as a player forgetting or not doing it. So
I'm going to bank probably on the forgetting here because the fact that he didn't expand right when he had the
after this engagement.
There goes that.
Yeah, but if you look at this line of lurkers, there's nothing.
Ain't nothing getting through that.
Nothing's going through that. So the Protoss, he has 1 forge and he has not upgraded anything. So he really should have. If he had done that, he could have had +2 or 3 by now. Beckendorf, on the other hand, has had 2. Let's see if I can find the second one here. 2 Ebos this entire time, and he has 2-2.
And he still hasn't gotten any upgrades yet?
And Protoss has none. So he's going to trade, every attack that instead of 10 damage, it's going to do 8 versus Marines and Marauders because he has the 2 armor. He's going to trade very well. Zerg is definitely ahead of me. He has 1 more attack and 1 more armor. I think I'm working on +2. So ahead, but not horribly ahead. 2-1 is very hard. I mean, 0-0 versus 2-2. Again, this army is very powerful, but the smaller it gets, the smaller smaller groups of units fighting against each other, Beckendorf will win.
Mainly because he has that upgrade.
Upgrade advantage.
So yeah, no frontal assault is really an option here, but if he can split them up, that might work.
So let's go to ×2 for a little bit here. It's a little bit of a standoff. As you see, Protoss is deciding to expand up here. That's a good choice because again, they have this contained. Beckendorf is going for a drop. It looks like, I think we're going to go.
What's going on?
I'm sorry. We're going to go for an attack here. I'm going to go down to faster.
Oh, wow. So you're actually trying to push out. I mean, you look like you can actually take him now.
This was actually a pretty good push. We have the supply is pretty similar. We have quite a few units.
Oh, did you back them up
right
into the
those
lurkers?
Oh yeah,
nice,
right there.
nice job. That was good. Oh yeah, and Protoss is almost gone.
And Beckendorf, he had a nice partial surround there, so he dropped some of his medevacs up here and then moved everything down. And if you notice, those Colossus are just dying.
Awesome.
So now let's look at the supply. Now Beckendorf has 68. Zerg, oh my gosh, he has 100.
Zerg is basically the main army at the moment.
I have 160 as well, though, so it's actually quite similar.
Yeah, I'll say.
So this game has evened up quite well.
Yeah, it seems like right now you at least have the position to now sit a little bit more comfortably.
We, through Beckendorf's harass and then our choice of defensive units, we were able to just sit long enough to get a bigger army. Zerg, the Zerg player, Lurduk, has finally decided to get his 4th base.
Yeah, dude.
So, that was a good choice. However, I spot that.
Yeah, exactly. This ain't happening.
And then, boom, 4th base gone. So, and then Beckendorf comes up. He does, but it's gone, though.
Yeah.
Beckendorf comes at the same time and snipes the Protoss'
Oh, that was a good move. Did you guys coordinate that? I guess?
We did. We were like, okay, I'm going to go over there at the same time you go there.
Great. So now both of them are missing a base right when you have now a force that can actually match theirs in power.
So now we are basically, everything is perfectly evened up.
Yeah.
The one advantage is that Beckendorf does have his 3rd, and the Protoss now has none. But everything is pretty much evened up. I have workers. The Zerg currently does not. I think he is getting a Orchard in. Yes, he just did get Orchard.
Oh, okay. So now he's thinking the same thing right now.
Which is smart. You really cannot. He's just trying to get Orcers now. You cannot engage without Orcers in this kind of situation. And this right here, I'm gonna go on faster, is very key part in the game. Because
I mean, it's just one army.
This isn't a bad exchange. We exchanged. He has a little bit more, so maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Got a few kills off with the lurker.
But the real problem was, if you noticed, he was building lurkers.
Oh.
He has 7. I have 4. I retreat back, build more lurkers here, but he already is pushing. So what would be an even fight? Watch this.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Here it comes. This is when we literally.
That was the wrong time for that.
That was just. It just was he attacked at the perfect time.
Oh my god!
So now we have this massive Zerg army with lurkers and Hydras,
and you have nothing.
And we have nothing.
Ow.
So literally, if I'd backed my Hydras more back here, or if the Zerg had just waited like 15 more seconds, it would have been a different game. Beckendorf's doing some nice harass up here. He gets a Colossus.
Yeah, but where's the rest of Beckendorf's army, though?
Again, if you look, Zerg is in my base with lurkers.
This is bad.
There's really nothing we can... Again, you can't engage lurkers like that. When they're in your face, there's really not that much you can do.
Yeah, I'll say.
So we're trying to... He's killing all my tech buildings. I have a hive. I have all my Hydralis den. I'm trying to rebuild stuff. I really can't build any units right now.
I mean you got like troops.
I can build lings and infestors.
Yeah,
that's all I can build.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you could just build like a ton of lings that attack the lurkers. Haha, no.
Exactly. I've had games where actually back in the day in ZVZ, the 2 choices you would go would be Roach Hydra or Lingbane Muta, and then what you'd basically do is try to get.
Could you say that again?
So you'd go.
No, say that again. Lingbane Muta.
Lingbane Muta.
Oh, that's just amazing. That's just amazing. That you got to hear that, guys. That's just really awesome.
Or Lingbane Mutt if you're saying it fast.
What?
Mutt short for Muta.
No, I like Muta. Oh, okay.
So basically, what you would do is your Lings and Banes, you try to get your Baneling hits on your opponent's Hydras, and then your Mutas will kill everything else. But now, since you have lurkers, you just keep inching your lurkers forward with your Hydras, and there's nothing Lings can do versus lurkers.
Definitely.
They're beautiful. And I love.
There's nothing Marines could do against.
Exactly.
Lurkers.
I love playing with them, but against them, they're very deadly.
Yeah. When I found out that lurkers were coming back into StarCraft, I was like, yeah, that is so cool. That was like one of my favorite units from the original Brood War.
And they cost enough, and they're pretty slow, so they're not overpowered like they used to be.
They were pretty powerful last time.
But what's happening now? He's just freely expanding. He's just kind of building up his army here.
At this point, it's almost like just mop-up stage. You just got to build a bigger army and just finish you guys off.
I'm building Hydralisks, but even if you notice the supply... Actually, the supply is pretty similar, but I just have Hydralisks, and he has all those lurkers. There's really nothing we can do versus those.
Yeah. It looks like there's some kind of harassment going up north. What's going on up there?
Yeah, Protoss is doing some good... Because, again, we're all trapped down here. But I would say, though, if the Zerg had given me a little more time to build lurkers and defend, let's look at the upgrades again. Zerg, Protoss has +1. Beck has 3/3. This is at the point where Beck will just completely demolish the Protoss army.
That's really true.
He can come in for a drop and just do so much damage.
So a lot is riding on Beckendorf right now to maybe pull something
well,
together.
there's not, again, this base, there's no way for him to defend this base because all his units are down here.
Holding off his Zerg army that we can't even engage.
That's kind of the challenge of this map. There's a lot of other 2v2 maps where your spawning locations are kind of on the same platform.
Right.
But this one you're locked in. Like, I can't move my drones over here to this base because there's this giant army right in the middle.
Right, yeah, and there's nothing you can feel will possibly be able to hold this off unless you get, like, ridiculously lucky.
So this was a really fun game. We thought we were completely dead, and we almost had a comeback. We really evened it out.
You guys actually did really well, especially with sniping those two bases, like, at the same time. That was great.
And I don't want to take anything away from them. They did very well. Oh my God, however, the moves that they did, even with the Protoss guy, he still has one robo.
What?
No, he has two, actually.
So we got two.
He has two, but the real problem is his upgrades are terrible. So if this game if we had been able to defend and this game kept going on, they would have lost. The Zerg guy would have had to really been the main buffer for them, but the Protoss would have his army would have not done much at all.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Definitely. So anyway, you guys can see that the blood in the water here. This game is pretty much over.
We're about to tap out here. We're fighting every last man that we can, but their resource collection rate is much higher than ours.
Yes.
And even looking at the
supply,
like
at this point, I probably would have.
Zerg is 90. I have 50 is more than double mine. And,
it's going to be over in 5 seconds here.
Exactly.
3,
GG.
2, 1. Wow. I mean, I have to admit, that was a pretty interesting, close game. I mean, we usually don't do stuff where we lose, unless it's like Backseat Madness or something like that. But I have to admit, you guys actually did really well for like having your main base, like your expansions, like completely decimated within the first like 15 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't see the attack coming, but we've been getting better at making the right moves to get ahead, or at least to try to even out in situations we're behind. So that's kind of the fun part of playing 2v2s. But again, it's hard to tell because you might look at one person and see that they're being economical, and then you don't have to build any units, but then their friend decides to build a lot of units, and then you're behind. So it's kind of a tough balance, but we've been enjoying it quite a bit, and we're trying to move up in Diamond. So. Yeah,
and I have to admit, you guys are still pretty dang good, so regardless of whatever losses you're getting right now. All right, guys, that is the end of this episode of Noobs Casting Fools. Again, if you want us to cast your StarCraft replay, be sure to email us at zelfos@gmail.com. Also, go check out QueensThief's channel.
With one video.
With one video.
And actually, I have a confession. Since I've been doing all these 2v2s with Beckendorf, I haven't been posting videos. So I'm not even going to say my channel name yet. Because
what? Come on. Please.
Okay,
please,
you can say it.
Please. Okay, his channel is Thief Arcade, right?
Arcade Thief.
Arcade Thief, right. Arcade Thief, yeah. I can't remember. Which one was I saying was better?
Well, I initially was going to do Thief Arcade, but then I was like, we better do Arcade Thief because it's more of like a title.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
But yeah, okay, whatever. So anyway, go check out his channel. He's only got one thing. It's really tiny, but as you can see from this, you are like one flawless commentator, man. Like seriously, that's like I don't know how you do it. That was just I would never be able to keep that going.
It's like blood.
Yeah, it just flows out you like liquid from some kind of fount somewhere that makes some classical reference right here, which I can't do. So anyway, I am the Kmart Commander.
And I'm QueensThief.
Thank you for watching.